I'm back! Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. I took a little bit of a break and I have a lot of things to report. Okay, so during the Holiday Heroes weekend holiday here in Jamaica, from a few months out, I decided I was going to take my kids on a Disney cruise. So I've never been on a cruise before, so I wasn't sure what to expect. So I did do lots of research on YouTube to make sure that I would be as prepared as possible. So once I got on a cruise, I started doing my little stories and stuff like that. And there were quite a few moms that reached out to me and they said, hey, listen, how is it? I need a full report. I'm thinking of going, but I'm not sure. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to do a YouTube video. So here is my full report on my Disney cruise. I got my notes. Okay, so from a few months out, a girlfriend of mine, she said, hey, listen, there's this cruise. I booked my room. If you want to come, book your room as well. So when you go onto the website, onto Disney Cruise Line, I can't remember right now, you can actually pick your room. So from what I've known from years before is the lower down the room and the closer to the front of the ship, the better. You won't feel as much motion. And I remember years ago, some stoosh auntie, she was like, oh, can you imagine they put the ship's workers down the bottom where it's actually better for you to sleep? And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, all right. The lower down is a less rocking. I think I just made up that story about a rich auntie, but okay.
Jano, stop. Jano.
But anyway, the lower down in the ship is a less rocking you'll feel. The higher up, you feel more of the motion. So when picking your room, kind of bear that in mind. And just try and stay to the forward of the ship. Try not to go to the back. There's also lingo. It's ARF and rear. No, never the rear. ARF and back. When you go onto the ship, they have their lingo of where is what. Anyway, so you go onto the website and you can pick your stateroom. Now, the first thing that I want to say is that this cruise isn't cheap. It was about $3,000 US up. So depending on the room that you want. So because I'd never been on a cruise before, I decided I was going to pick a room with a small balcony. Just in case I wasn't feeling well, I could maybe go outside, I could get some air. Just to make a note, that balcony does have 2 special locks on it, just so that you have that protection of your kids going outside. The lock is really, really up high. Like I felt 100% safe. And even though the balcony looked like it was just rails, there was some plastic glass, so the kids can't go through the railing. I'll try and put in as much video and pictures as possible, but to be honest with you, I was really living in the moment and I wasn't planning on doing a video or a family vlog for this trip, just because there was so much happening and it was so exciting and I was really enjoying being in the moment with the kids. And it was after a while of the messages coming in being like, hey, how is it, that I was like, okay, let me try and get some videos and some pictures. So kind of just excuse the here and there videos. This cruise was worth it. Anyway. Alright guys, so tour of my stateroom. I've come in from the door, and as soon as I come in from the door, there's a cupboard area with storage, shelves, a safe, and you have hanging space here. Some life jackets. They really made use of the space. I'm whispering because this is the night before we leave. My kids are sleeping. It's the only time I could find. It's bed, but hold on before we go in. So back at the door again, and there's a door on your right, and this is the toilet with a sink and mirror. It's a good little space, not bad. We have a thermostat. Then we have another door here. This door here is the shower, bath. All the walls are magnetic, so I actually had some of my own hooks on here to hook up like the kids' cosmetic bags and stuff like that. Here we have the bed. It is, what is a queen? No, it's not a queen. It's like a double bed. Watch foot. So this was the only time I could get because everything has just been so jam-packed. So this door could be adjoining to the other room, but I don't know them. TV. And then we have like a bar. No, it's not a bar. Like a little vanity area, desk area here. And then over here now, so when we first came into the room, this was a sofa, and the sofa can either fold out into a bed or a bunk bed. But the guy didn't understand me when I said to him if he could. The first night I was like, no, leave it as a sofa, and we all slept over here. Remy's over here. And then when they saw their cousin's room, they were like, oh, we want the bunk bed. So I asked him, I said, can you fold out the bed for me? And he just folded out the bed. So last night Remy slept over there, but she jumped out in the middle of the night scared. So tonight I've just left the two of them in there and I'm over here. And then we have balcony here. You can't see anything out there right now, but there's a little small balcony and the views are really nice and just relaxing. Let me show you again from this side here. So it's a nice size room. I don't feel claustrophobic at all. It's a nice size little room. And me and the kids fit on the bed. It was fine the first night, but I'm sick and tired of feet in my back. So I'm sleeping over here by myself in a little prison bed. So the first thing I would say about the room is you don't spend a lot of time in your room. So if you want to get the room with just the porthole, that's fine. Because to be honest with you, I think we went out on the balcony. I went out there more often because I was washing clothes and hanging them out there. And I made an effort one night to go outside and to just kind of take in the midnight view of the ocean. But to be honest with you, the room with the porthole is just fine. You're hardly in your room. Moms, here's a lowdown. So it's not cheap. However, food is included. So it basically worked out at about $1,200 a head. So myself, Levi, and Remy went. The room was clean. Everything was clean. Now, this was the first time the Disney Wish was setting sail. So I think that everything being clean would be expected. And it was just immaculate. Our room was kept so clean. You know, every time we go in, there was either a turn down service or they were cleaning or they were re-vacuuming or the room was just always so clean. The food, it was not like, creme de la creme cuisine, but it was good. You know, you have to remember they're cooking in bulk for like thousands of people. It was good. I wouldn't say it was the best, but I would definitely, oh, those crab legs, oh dear Lord, the food was good. So for moms, the elevator, the whole ship, I didn't find stroller friendly. So I had my double stroller because I'd learned from a past trip that my kids, they're lazy. Levi, though, when he saw his cousins, we were a family of 6 kids and 5 adults. And because Levi was there with the bigger kids, Levi and Remy were the youngest, he wanted to walk, he wanted to go with his friends, he wanted to hang out. So he didn't really use his side of the double stroller. But Remy, I'm tired, I want my stroller. But with going with people who are all walking and climbing the stairs, it was so hard for me to like be stopping at the elevator, and it's thousands of people. The ship actually holds over 3,000 people, half of which are workers. So that's why it says almost like 1-to-1, one guest for one worker, which I found pretty amazing. But it's not just, anyway, we'll get into that. So just waiting on the elevator just took really, really long, and then it would take up so much space. So I ended up carrying Remy a lot. Maybe if I would just carry the single stroller, but then there was the climbing of the stairs. It was really, really annoying. I didn't find the cruise ship stroller friendly at all. Maybe one option that Disney cruise ships could do is, you know, when you just rent a stroller on board and you just kind of drive, you come out the elevator, kind of like the bicycles in Japan. Like you're done with it, you drop it off. Is that how they do the bicycles in Japan? Whatever. Just, you know, you see a stroller and you use it, and you can just, you know, once you finish, you just leave it right there, whatever. But it's not stroller friendly. So for kids 5 and over, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this cruise to children who are under 5. I'm so glad that Stevie wasn't able to come, because I think Tracy would have had an absolutely miserable time just trying to navigate everything with a baby, especially with a group of kids who are so much older. I don't think the kids 5 and under really appreciate and understand, and also it's a lot of stimulation. There's a lot going on. So for a young child, it really is just, it's just exhausting. So if you have a child younger than 5, maybe there's a sibling or siblings that are older, then yes. But if you have children that are younger, I don't know if this is the right time. You know, even I definitely want to go back. I'm going to wait until Remy is 5, just that she could manage better, understand better, and just be able to not be so overstimulated and exhausted with what's happening. There's a lot happening on the cruise ship, and it's all scheduled, and if you don't keep up, you lose out. So if you have a young kid, a young baby, and you're not sure, just save your money and wait a couple of years. You want to make sure that when you do this, it's well worth it. The room was nice. There was lots of space. Out of everybody in my group, I believe my room was the smallest. Just spacing, it wasn't anything that I had selected. It was slightly smaller and it was okay. Didn't notice. What I really liked about the room is that the bed was a little bit higher up off the ground, so I was able to use under there storage for the stroller and for the suitcases, just so that I had enough space in my room to walk around and for the kids to have some space, you know. But the room was nice. There were so many instructions. I've never been so stressed out. It was like an exam every single day. So you have to download, or you should download the cruise app. So it helps you to navigate what's happening on the ship, what's happening in terms of activities, show times, restaurants, and then also people in your party. You can link them to your reservation. And how this helps is that you don't have any phone service. So it's a satellite service, and then you're able to do a messaging service within the Disney Cruise Line app. So everybody in my party, I was able to say, hey, we're going down for dinner now. Hey, is anybody ready? Instead of using WhatsApp, because WhatsApp wasn't really working. You kind of felt a little distended from the world because you're trying to get onto Instagram, or you're trying to get, onto Gmail, and you're not able to do it. It was a little frustrating, but then I kind of took that as it's time for my family. Let me just put on the phone. So make sure all your parties are linked within the reservations. They're linked on your app. The app will also help you to how to download your COVID test, how to download your passport information, how to download everything, so that when you go and you check in, it will be very smooth. Let me tell you something. That whole every minute I get reminded about this, and I think COVID made it a little bit more confusing, simply because now you have to upload a COVID test, then you have to upload a vaccine, then there's this other website other than the Disney app that accepts the vaccine and the vaccination card and blah 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 blah, and it was a pain in the butt. Then during the time that I had booked to the time that I went, they changed the rules and regulations as it pertains to vaccines twice. That part was a lot. Hopefully by the time you're booking, you won't go through any of that. Once you link your reservations, your meal times and the restaurants will be the same. So it's interactive. So when you go to the restaurant, it's like, so the first restaurant that we went to the first night was the Avengers restaurant. And there's up on the screen, the man is telling you what happened to him and how him shrink this and blah, 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 blah. And there's this like interactive button that the kids have to press. And there are hundreds of people in this restaurant that all need to be served. So it took long. And just with any reservation at any restaurant, the larger your group is the longer it's going to take. So although we got to our dinner seatings on time, it just took a long time to serve our table. So we were there till very, very late, most evenings, all evenings, just because of the service, it took longer. That's like how when you're here and you go to a restaurant in a group of 8 and you're like, Lord God, oh, this takes so long. Same thing. Everything was clean. We did have someone in our party who was allergic to nuts, and on the very first night, she asked our server, no, when you're given servers the first night, those servers will stay with you until the end. So it doesn't matter if you move, you will move restaurants. So the first night was the Avengers restaurant. Second night was not Rapunzel, what's she name? Frozen? Elsa, the Elsa birthday party restaurant. And then the last night was Pirates? No, I can't remember. But the servers move with you. So the first night, if you're like, oh, I'd like lemonade to drink. The second night, you're like, you want that lemonade again? Third night, you'll be like, lemonade on the way, which was really cool. And it also helps with tipping. So you can read their name tag and be like, oh yeah, there's Aaron again. Okay, that's my server. And he'll let you know. He's like, I'll see you guys tomorrow. So when it's end of the cruise, you can know that was your server. You want to give them a little bit extra, whatever it may be. So the person in my party is allergic to walnuts. So is her child. And she actually asked, she said, does anything have nuts? Does this have nuts? Pointed to something on the menu, and the server said, oh, on this ship, because of the kids, nothing has nuts. The very next day we went to go and have lunch, and there was, so you need to kind of explore your food options, because on the outer deck of the ship they have lots of grilled things, they have just quick bites. But if you're, and usually that's where it has the most lines, because everybody's by the deck sunbathing or doing an activity, so everybody's in line in their swimsuits. However, if you put on some clothes and dry off and go inside to the buffet, you have so many options and the food is way better. You get lamb, you get crab claws, all of this. Anyway, my friend saw a piece of cake and she said, hey, carrot cake. She says, does this have nuts in it? And another person said to her, no, it doesn't. She ate 3 bites of the cake and had a terrible allergic reaction. Her tongue started swelling. It was horrible. And, you know, we had to take her to the medic. And I just don't think that there was enough of a immediate response by the crew members. Also, when she had to get the shot, she did have to get a EpiPen. It wasn't even an EpiPen. It was like a real proper injection they gave her. They then charged it to her room of over $500. And, you know, I just thought it was very unfair that they were the ones numerous times that said, there's no nuts, there's no nuts. She ate the cake that had the nuts, and, you know, now she has to pay for the medication that did save her life. So Disney, that I'm not too, yeah, that was the only part of the trip that was really horrible. Listen, whatever you've packed, you're overpacking. Whatever it is in your suitcase, take out 5 things, take out 10 things, you've overpacked. So each cruise has a theme. The theme for our cruise was Halloween. This was perfect because Levi and Remy love Halloween. So they had a pirate party, they had trick-or-treating, they had, what was another, no, one night was pirate, one night was dress up in costume, one night was all kind of things. So I had these dresses to wear for this night, but this night was costume night. That's the night we dressed up as minions. Then the last night was a huge pirate party. There was fireworks off the starboard bow, and it was amazing. I mean, let me tell you, the actors and the staff on the ship, they just really put their all into everything. In terms of timing, so at about 6 o'clock, there's a Broadway performance each night. The first night was amazing. We got there on time, and I'm really, really glad that one of the girls in our group, she had done this before. So she kind of knew, because if it was up to me, I would have missed everything. How would them know what is going on? I don't know. As for the app, I don't have time to go up on the app because Remy, she won't lift up, Levi, him won't go over there, all kind of things. So I was really glad she was there to be like, okay guys, 6 o'clock, let's go this way. And I have a zero sense of direction, so I would have not known how to get anywhere. 6 o'clock every evening was a show. The first night was absolutely fabulous. It was almost like a welcome and an introductory to the ship, to the staff, to the crew. And then it gave you little 2-minute snippets of the more popular Disney plays. Then there was like little mini fireworks on stage. It was fabulous. Remy was standing there. She was dancing. She was in the aisle dancing. And then she was saying, I want to touch you. I want to touch. Like, Ruby 100 mode activated, and she there dancing, and the people behind her are laughing with her, and it was so cute. The next night was The Little Mermaid, and the last night was Disney's Aladdin. Very, very cute. So you get to see Broadway plays every single night. I suggest to go early so you can get your popcorn. Once you buy the bucket, you get the bucket of popcorn, and you can refill your bucket of popcorn every single night for free. So the shows are absolutely amazing. And then so after the shows now, we would then go to our dinner reservation. So the thing is that everything once evening falls is back to back to back to back to back. So we kind of had to know, okay, so we need to be bathed and ready for the night by 6 o'clock. So, you know, you have to arrange yourself at 5 o'clock. You have the 2 kids to deal with. And it was harder for me because, of course, I have the youngest kids in the group. So I had to be bathing, dressing, doing everything for them. And then I'd have to do me. But I mean, the time, you know, when I had time to blow dry hair and put on makeup and everything, it was like, you got to get going because there's more stuff for you to do. After dinner, after the show was dinner, then after dinner, there would usually be some kind of party or activity up on the deck. That's where the last night we watched the fireworks. Let me tell you, it was just amazing, 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 amazing.
Now shake it, crew from coast to coast.
This is something that I don't understand. So they have a nursery separate and apart from Kids Club. So the very first day we decided we were going to check out everything because adults were like, yeah, we're going to drop these kids off to kids club. Ha 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 ha. See you on the last day. But the first day of kids club, they were kind of doing like introductions and, you know, like showing everybody the place. And they didn't really have activities set up yet. So the kids went there and they were kind of like, okay, got bored, and we kept getting messages. Levi would like to be picked up. This is again on your Disney app, Disney Cruise app. This one wants to be picked up. Remy wants to be picked up. And it's like, kids, come on. If we had known that the first day was kind of not much happening, and you can tell by the schedule that they give you on the app, we wouldn't have left the kids, because it was kind of like, for them, they were like, this place is boring. The nursery is an additional cost. I believe the nursery is 2 and under. This to me, I don't really understand, because if it's Disney and you're catering to kids, the kids club and the nursery should be included. I mean, I get why we have to pay for liquor, but the nursery was an additional cost. I didn't really catch how much it was because my kids are older than that, but I just thought that was a little annoying. Yeah, so then you can look and see what activities they have for kids club. There were different, you can look and see where the different characters would be. So you can meet Mickey, you can meet this one. Well, I had to stand in a line to meet Mickey. When I tell you now, groupie mode activated. My kids behaved the entire time in a 15-minute line to meet Mickey. They stood in the line, they did not complain, nobody's feet were tired, nobody needed the stroller, nobody needed to go wee-wee, nobody needed to run away. I could not believe it. I just stood there and I'm like, wow. I mean, this doesn't happen in the airport, this doesn't happen at school. They stood in the line and they like this the whole time. Mickey. It was crazy. Get ready, guys. Mickey's gonna come for you, okay? Wait till Mickey comes for you.
Maybe like not in the show. Here for Mickey's camera. I was like, all ready for big smiles right here. Yeah, look at his foot.
Yeah.
Right here, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Thank you.
Go, guys. Go to Mickey.
Here we go. Oh my gosh. See all of our friends. What nice big hugs. Nice. That was a good one. Wow, they're so strong, right, Mickey? Number 9 wants to go over and stand right by Mickey. All right, friends, big smiles right here for Mickey's camera. Very nice.
So you can see where the characters that you want to meet, you can see where they'll be each day, and you can go and line up to meet them. It's not just a random, they're roaming around and you'll see them. They're actually, you know, placed in strategic places throughout the day. I didn't know about this, but apparently there's like a Wi-Fi package that you can upgrade to. If it is available, I do suggest you sign up for it, simply because you just feel so like, detached from the rest of the world. Like even just messaging my family to be like, hey, look at this, or hey, I'm okay. The messages weren't going through. So if you have an option to get a package, make sure you do that. This is probably cool. So one of the things in doing my research was that you decorate your door. So your stateroom door, the walls and everything, they're metal. So they're magnetic. So a few things that were really handy to me that I had, there were some little hooks, magnetic hooks, just so that I could stick them on the wall and I could hang the kids' cosmetic bag, I could hang up towels, I could wash swimsuits and hang them up. And one of the things that they encourage you to do is they encourage you to decorate your door. So because this was a Halloween theme, I decorated the door with, it just says Boo, and it's really cool because I have it hanging downstairs on my garage door now, and the kids enjoy putting on the bats and decorating. And because there are so many doors and so many floors, it was really cool that the kids could identify their door easily by the decoration. We're running down to our friends, they could identify the friend's door because of their decoration. So that was really, really cool. Kind of make your stateroom feel all homey and yours. There were some other things that were available, but I just find that for a first-time cruiser, kind of figuring things out, I didn't do this. So you can go onto Facebook and just type in the cruise that you're going to be on, and you will see other people in that group who want to do like little activities, or maybe they want to for example, if there's like when you get off on the island, if there's somewhere for you to get off, there may be like, oh, you can do like a group of horseback riding and it'll be cheaper. So sometimes if you get into a group to do those activities, it will be cheaper. And also they have little games that they what is it called, like almost like a pixie thing that they do. And then so when you go on board, you'll see like little bags, I think fishing, you'll see bags hanging from some of the doors, and if you look in them, you'll see little gifts and candy. So it's like some like little pixie game that you can play. And some of the gifts were like really nice. I was like, well, if I work hard this again, I'm gonna take it. Just joking. And then you'd have like some kids playing trick or treat. You'd see like buckets of candy by the door, and it was, you know what, it was really, really cool, because I would see the buckets of candy and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a problem now. And none of my kids touched it. It was like they knew, like, this is for this little kid in this room for this activity. And I was like, this is so weird. Like, you know, nobody took or stole the decorations off the door. You can see the little pockets hanging, and you can see gifts hanging out of it, and nobody took them. Like, nobody was like, oh, what's this? So I thought that was really, really cool. So you can play little pixie games and stuff, which was nice. The app is really helpful, but it's overwhelming. So maybe before, you know, you can just kind of look and get acquainted with it. Oh yes, this was the cruise lingo. Aft and forward. So aft is back, rear, back at the ship. And forward is to the front of the ship. So you'll see when you're looking at the signage to the rooms, they'll be like aft room 800 and forward room 700 or whatever. Kids won't stay at kids club. Oh my gosh. So the big kids weren't so bad. The first day everybody wanted to leave, and then when my friend was being treated in the cruise hospital for her allergic reaction, all the kids wanted to leave kids club. So I went down there and I had all 6 children, because all I kept getting on my phone was Remy wants to be picked up. This time I'm enjoying my crab legs, you know, their hand deep in the lemon and the garlic, and just get a message on my phone. Remy Henriquez would like to be picked up from kids club. And it was kind of annoying, because I'm there thinking to myself, there are 5 other children that she went in there with. I don't feel like the staff was making enough of an effort to be like, hey, didn't you come with this little girl? Do you know her? Okay, come, you guys do an activity together. Or, you know, like 4 of the other children had her last name. Like, you can see that they came together. They were all entered, because they wear these little watches. Where's the watch? You can swipe their watch and you can see the information, their name, their room number, who their parents are, and it comes up with pictures. So it comes up with the pictures of everybody linked to your room, everybody who's allowed to check the children out of the kids club. I thought the watch idea was really, really cool, just because the staff can see exactly who you are, where you belong, and what's happening. And I just don't think that the kids club staff made enough of an effort to keep Remy there, to keep her entertained, or to like involve her with her cousins and friends to be like, hey, come, you know. So that was annoying. So, you know, I was really worried about the motion sickness, and I was like, you know, I'm a tough cookie, you know, these things don't really bother me. Well, there were a couple nights where I felt it and I was like, whoa, this is weird. So there's a patch. I used the patch, and I just stuck the patch on the back of my neck here. But the trick to the patch is you need to stick it on at least 3 hours before you need it. So when you're on deck, when you know you're heading to the boat, just stick the patch on here, and it works for a couple of days. You only need one, and you just stick it on there and you should be good to go. They also have the bands, they have Dramamine, you have all kind of things that you can get to kind of help you to ease if you have any motion sickness. I felt it, but it wasn't terrible, it wasn't bad. There was one night where it was raining and I was like putting the kids to bed and I was like, ooh. But didn't have any seasickness. It was just like tummy felt a little queasy, and I was like, okay, heading to bed. Towel clips were also super handy. Now the towel clips I used, I just didn't want to wet clothes to pack up in my room, so I would use the towel clips to, when I wash the clothes, hang them up on my little veranda. It's breezy out there, so I never wanted like nothing to fly away, so I would just use the towel clips to clip them on. Also, we had some shirts made that said Disney Cruise 2022, and we wore these shirts about 3 times. So I would I just had like a blue soap in my bag, and I would wash them out and hang them out on the veranda, and they would dry. We wore them traveling from Jamaica over to Orlando. We wore them that day. Then we wore them the next day. We got to our friend's house, she washed them for us, wore them the next day onto the cruise ship, and then we wore them the final night to the pirate party. So we got our money's worth out of our t-shirts. So thank you so much to T-shirt Doctor who designed up the shirts for us, and I just loved it. And that was another reason why I was overpacking. I think I wore 1 outfit. How many outfits did I pack? About 10. Anyway, so the shows are amazing, as I said before. You know, go out and meet a few of the characters. The princesses are there and they're all really nice and welcoming and they'll hug you, and it was so nice to see like a softer side of Remy. You know, she's there and of course her hair is all messy. She probably has chocolate on her face. I mean, she's going at 10 miles an hour, and she saw Tiana and she saw Elsa. She saw a couple of the princesses and it just kind of stopped her, and she was like, oh my gosh. She's like, hi princess, hi princess too. And you know, Tiana was so gracious and she hugged her and they were talking, and this is princess motions, and it was really, really sweet. And you know, it was really nice to see Remy, you know, kind of like in awe of this princess. Good Lord, I'm still talking? Jeez. Anyway, this is your little reminder. Make sure to hit that like button, and while you're at it, make sure you're subscribed. Now back to more talking. Good God. One thing that I forgot was goggles for the kids. I don't know why, but my kids love goggles. It's so weird. Anyway, I forgot to pack goggles. Yeah, if your kids love goggles, pack goggles. You definitely need a hat, because when you go up onto the deck of the ship, it's really, really hot. And when you get off on the island, should you get off. So we stopped Bahamas the first night, and then the second night we went over to Castaway Key, which is the Disney private island near to the Bahamas. We didn't get off in the Bahamas simply because I paid all of this money. Why am I getting off in the Bahamas where I'm going to be, you know, treated like a tourist, to buy hat and shirt and shell ring that I don't need? I'd rather stay on board and food. I'd rather stay on board and eat the food I've already paid for, enjoy the slide, the this, the that. The kids were running up and down and playing. There's multiple pools. And one thing about the pools that was annoying but excellent. So every hour for 10 minutes, after every hour for 10 minutes, all pools had to be cleared. So all children had to come out the pool. At this time, they skim the pool, treat the pool, just because all of the wee that's going on in there, they treat the pool and they see what's going on. And just for them to take a check on where the kids are and what's happening, that nobody's at the bottom of the pool, which was annoying because for 10 minutes the kids are there, can we go in now? But it was nice that they were treating the water and just being conscious of, you know, the fact that there were so many people going in and out of the various pools. Hats were of course necessary. Even when we got off on Castaway Key, you know, it was really, really hot. It's an island, lots of sand, the reflection of the water, so the hats came in super handy. Everything was included in our package on Castaway Key. So because it's a part of the Disney private island, we did have lunch. Actually, we did not have lunch there because so you get off at a certain time and then you're supposed to board the ship. I think by 4:30 they're departing. The boat is departing. At 3 o'clock we were like, okay, let's eat. By this time, everybody on the island was packing up the food, and I'm like, it's 3 o'clock. If it is that we are supposed to get back on board at 4 and the staff is, you know, supposed to get back on board at 3:30, but people actually live on that key to be able to facilitate the cruise ships that come there. There was no food there at 3 o'clock. Anyway, we just went back on board and we ate. And the island was really, really nice. It was super relaxing, especially for the parents to just kind of take a little whew, because on the cruise ship, it was just go, 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 go. So to be able to just sit down in the water, we pulled up a little lounge chair and we just sat in the water and we chatted. So for the Disney cruise, and I think most cruises, you're not allowed to just take copious amounts of liquor with you. You're allowed 2 bottles of clear light liquor. So like a wine, a Prosecco, beers, you're allowed to take that, 2 bottles per adult. So no dark liquor, no Hennessy, or 6 bottles of beer. I believe you can also take a couple bottles of water with you. Anyway, so we took on a few bottles of Prosecco and champagne. So when we got to the island, we were just popping our bottles and saving some money because, of course, as you know, they upmark liquor when you're on vacation. So I would definitely suggest to bring your 2 bottles. And if they have like a wine package or an alcohol package, if you are a drinker, I would definitely suggest to get that. Oh, another thing that I brought for the kids, I brought their water bottles because there are refill stations everywhere. And I had this, I would just refill with my water. The kids had more convenient looking water bottles. And I would just refill for them, refill with ice. We go to dinner, just refill and then have it for the rest of the evening. That was really convenient. And that's something that I've kind of been doing the last couple trips where the kids have their water bottle with them, just so that we're not constantly buying water bottles, bottles of water. And, you know, you drink, then you throw it away, then, you know, a carrot, then just pack a water bottle and you can just top it up with ice, top it up with water. And I've noticed in more places you'll see where there's like a refill station is what they're called. I wanted to show you this. So one of the things that they were saying to get is to protect your stateroom keys. This retractable lanyard came in very, very handy. So these are our room keys, but they're also like they double as your credit card, your information card. So there's one for Levi, one for me, and one for Remy. And when you swipe this, it will give the information as to who's in the room. If I want to buy a drink, if I need to purchase something, or if I need to go somewhere, I can swipe it and they can see what room I'm in, who to charge it to. So yes, when you're deboarding, you need to take all 3 because that was annoying. So I was like, oh, let me leave one in the room in case I should lose my lanyard, blah, blah. And they were like, no, you need all 3. So I guess they swiped them to see that all 3 came off the boat for all 3 to come back, which was kind of weird because I'm like, if I lose one or if I lose all, what happens? Anyway, to make sure you don't lose it, I got like this little plastic pocket here that opens easily. And then I would just clip this part to my bag. See, it has a little clip on the back there. And then I would just swipe to open my stateroom door or wherever it may be. But it was just so much more convenient to have this lanyard, retractable lanyard, than to look for this. You don't need to walk with your purse because this key like replaces your purse. So I would just walk with this and just, hey, kids club, swipe them in. This one, swipe them in. This restaurant, swipe them in. Bang some ridiculous cocktail that they don't even use a full shot of. Swipe. Yeah, wait till I get that. The retractable lanyard, make sure you get that. The towel clips, make sure you get that. What else was I saying? Make sure you get your door decoration, your hat for your kids, a water bottle. So for moms, I would suggest to you, because it's constant moving up and up, up and down, up and down, up and down, and you want to feel cute, you want to feel pretty, you know, you are taking pictures. I would suggest you maybe get some braids so you don't have to worry about the washing of the hair, the styling of the hair, and just put in some lashes, and that would be a quick, easy way for you to, you know, make sure that you're always feeling nice and looking nice and camera ready. So that's something that I would suggest. I had lashes put in and I was so happy because I just felt like I was always, you know, looking cute or presentable, you know, instead of looking like a bald-headed eagle. And if I thought about it, maybe I would have put in braids just to kind of cut down on the amount of time I needed to comb my hair and style my hair, because I had to be dealing with these 2 little rugrats. They had such a good time. So pictures are super expensive. It worked out to be $20 for one picture at the end of the cruise. So what you can do is when you log on to your app, you can see that they have a photo package. So you can buy a photo package, I believe it was $199. So what that is whenever you go and you see Mickey, or you see, there's photographers everywhere, dinner time, whatever, and they'll say to you, what is your room number, or the picture person, they'll have like this thing for you to swipe your card. So say we go to Mickey, I swipe my card, it comes up with my room number 8040, and take the picture. So all of those pictures will then go towards my room number or my card. And if I've bought the picture package, then I'll be able to get all of my pictures. If you're going to purchase the picture package, make sure that every time you see a camera person, for it to be worthwhile for you, every time you see a camera person, make sure you take a picture. Other than that, if you're in a group, I'm the worst. I'll have my camera in my hand like, this is so cool, eh? This is nice. I'm having a great time. And the phone will just be right here. Yeah. You know how much times I could have taken like pictures for my Instagram or pictures, and I just don't, and my phone will be right here. Oh, this is amazing. How am I going to remember this? I'm going to remember it in my head. This is fabulous, eh? Oh, wow. So if you're going to get the picture package, just know, you know, sometimes when we go to like the all-inclusive hotels here in Jamaica, and there's a picture guy, and they take pictures of you and follow you around, and they see how, that's not what happens on a cruise. You actually have to see the picture person, be like, hey, can you, or join the line, be like, hey, or I'll take a picture with this one, or group shots. Sometimes they have backgrounds set up. I'll drop in a couple of our pictures, and you can see their backdrop set up, and then we gave them our room number. But $20 for one picture, and that's a digital photo, is a lot. So think about, are you there as just your own little intimate family, not intimate family, as like a family of 5. If you're a small family, then you don't want your husband to keep taking the picture, or one of you is always taking the picture. So you can think, okay, do I want to do this photo package? Well, make sure that you take 200 divided by 20. You make sure you every picture person you see, you take picture. And you can also walk with a selfie stick too. And I believe when you stand up in the line, the person is there, you can just say, hey, can you take this picture of me with Mickey and stuff like that. And I don't think they would mind. I think that happened a couple of times with my girlfriend. And she's like, I ain't paying for that. On that note, I got a case of body come down. So one of the reasons why I haven't been here, you haven't seen me for a while, is I did Monday to Monday, I went and was filming for Road Ready in Miami. And that was a whole week of partying, dancing, drinking, drunking. And I came back home on the Monday, and I came home to PT and class stuff for Heritage for Levi's school. I actually came home the Monday, and Levi was out on the Monday. He was not feeling well. He had a headache, a tummy ache. I wasn't here. So I said, okay, leave him home from school. When I come home, I will COVID test him. I will see what's happening. Dad gave him some Panadol and he was okay. I got home and no COVID, thank goodness, because I'm just thinking to myself, great, there's all of this stuff going on for the cruise, and if Levi has, anyway, thank you, Lord. So it was almost as if, there's like a gastrobug going around. He had all the symptoms of the gastrobug except the loose stool. So I don't know if that makes any sense. He had the high fever, he had the headaches, he had the tummy aches, but nothing was really going on down below, which was fine with me. I kept him out of school just because he wasn't feeling well. And I think that if your child has a fever, what I do is, if my child has a fever, I wait 24 hours until I send him out to school again. And every time I thought he was better, he'd get a fever again. So I kept him out of school. Even though I was at the school working on a heritage project for the class. Then it was Thursday morning. By Wednesday now, of course, Levi is great. But it is time on Thursday now. I remember I just come back the Monday to leave with all the kids to head over on the Disney cruise. And we had to make a connection. So we left from the port in Orlando, which is an hour and a little bit from the airport. Luckily, one of the friends who was in our group, they have family there, and they're like, listen, they want all of you to come and stay. And it was amazing. Big up to Papa and Auntie Debbie. We got to the house. They drove to the airport for us about 40 minutes. I drove to their house where, we were welcomed with champagne and seafood, and I didn't want to leave. It was so amazing. The next day, they drove us all the way to the cruise ship port, which was over an hour from their house. And just that Caribbean hospitality, they didn't never know me. It was people in my group that they know, and they were so welcoming, and it was just so nice. It's just the community was really, really awesome. And that did save us some money. So I'm so appreciative for that. So we got to the cruise ship, got to the port, all of that. And then when we were disembarking, one thing we don't understand, Disney. So we were to embark at, the cruise ship takes off. I don't know what the proper lingo is. The cruise ship leaves the port at 3:45 p.m. But yet when it's time to leave, we must disembark at 7:30 a.m. in the morning. Fix it. That's not right. You must disembark at the same time that you embark. Anyway, so we left the cruise ship at about 9 o'clock. Jamaicans, I'm unruly, so I'll get all our money's worth. We'll take a tour of the ship at that time. Take the last of the pictures and stuff like that. We then, Auntie Debbie and Papa then picked us up, and they took us to a mall because our flight wasn't until in the evening. The flight took off late with a very rude person, and then we missed our connection. Luckily, Sean was in Miami doing some work, and he came and rescued us. And we were able to stay with him in his hotel room. And it was just super inconvenient though, because they didn't give us our bags. I decided to go on standby on the midday flight, and we were confirmed on the night flight the next day. And it was a lot. So by the time I got home, I wasn't feeling well. We had spent, must say 8 hours in the airport, hanging out, and the kids were so well behaved. And even with all of that, this cruise was so worth it. It was worth me with the body come down, sick on antibiotics. It was worth the 8 hours walking up and down in the airport. It was worth missing school, the extra day. It was so worth it. And I would definitely recommend this cruise with the few notes that I made earlier. I'm going to wait until Stevie's a little bit older, until Remy's a little bit older, but I am going again. One of the things that I would do too is I would definitely go on a Disney cruise, simply because I just feel like they make more of an effort with activities because it's kids. And I just feel like, you know, Disney, they have a reputation to upkeep. So I would definitely recommend a Disney cruise, even though it's the only cruise I've ever been on. So we had, I don't think that's really necessary for this video, but what I had done too was we took economy, we took cheap flights, just so that, because the trip was so expensive. I mean, being on the ship was almost $3,500 for our stay there. So I was like, you know what, we're all going economy, we're going to try and save flights. We're not going to take, I believe there's a straight flight to Orlando. And it did not work out because we ended up missing a day. We ended up, you know, I just sent a letter off to American Airlines yesterday to be like, I need some kind of compensation because this is ridiculous. Like, we missed our flight because it wasn't weather. It was, I don't know, we're lining up on the tarmac waiting to take off. It was really, really annoying, and I kind of wish I had looked more into a straight flight because in the long run we would have saved time, or maybe to have done like our connection not as tight, especially now with what's happening. The airport, the airlines are so short-staffed, so more than likely there's going to be a delay. So just bear that in mind. In preparing, I watched all of these YouTube videos, and it was almost like so much information was thrown at me, all the things that I needed. I had a long list of things I needed to buy and things I needed to pack. And I just want to let you know that just relax, because although it's a lot of information, a lot of things that you think you may need, a lot of it you don't. And if you don't have it, you'll be perfectly fine. So one of the things that I did not need was a plastic luggage tag. So they will tell you, oh, to protect your luggage tag, it might get torn off. It almost looks like this, but longer. So when you get to the port, they take your bags from you. So as soon as you get to the dock, there's a company separate and apart from Disney. They take your suitcase, and you don't see your suitcase until later on in the evening. So basically you have to pack a hand luggage, swimsuit, change your clothes for the kids, any medication that you may need, just some cosmetics, and you're not going to miss your bag, because trust me, once you get on the ship, you go. You want to explore, you want to do all kinds of things, you want to have lunch, blah 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 blah. We didn't get our bags that late, but you just want to make sure you have things just in case. And then what happens is your bag kind of goes through the customs process. So any hidden liquor, you're not allowed to have any extension cords. So they go through, on a scanner, they go through your bag just to make sure you don't have any drugs, anything that's illegal. So just bear that in mind, that you're going to need a hand luggage, but you don't need these plastic luggage tags. I mean, yeah, that was extra money that I didn't need to spend. And also the charging block, like a charging block extender. You see me talk about them in my YouTube videos all the time, how handy they are around my house. I packed one with me because they kept saying, oh my gosh, there's no plugs anywhere, and you can't plug in anything, and how are you going to charge your phone and the iPad at the same time, and oh my gosh. I did not need it. There were plugs in the bathroom, there were plugs on each bedside table, there was plugs. I don't know if this was because this was a newer ship, but that was one of the things I didn't need to take, and the charging block was kind of bulky. But yeah, everything being said, it was so worth it. It was really, really worth it. And I'm looking forward to my next Disney cruise. And I'm definitely going to watch back this video to kind of remember, you know, all of my little tips and hints. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please make sure to drop a comment down below, because I do go through my questions and my comments over here on YouTube, so I will answer you. So if you have a question regarding the cruise or something like that, just drop it down below and I'll definitely answer you. I know this video was super long, but I wanted to cover so many aspects, and I had my list here. And I hope that this was really, really helpful for anybody who was thinking of going on a cruise, especially a Disney cruise. And I hope you have an amazing time. I'm getting goosebumps for you. Have an amazing time, and what do they say? Ahoy! Also, alright guys, that's it for this YouTube video. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.